All right. Hey guys, on Facebook, we're trying to do Instagram and Facebook at the same time. Struggling. Yes, I guess it won't let do both at once, so I have to throw my phone back up there and figure out how to do this. And yeah, banners up, ticking, comments. Send all comments to I don't give a crap. All right. And then, so go back to here, go Facebook Live. I'm going to switch this around. Go Facebook Live.
Uh-oh, echo. Turn that down.
Checking connection. Can you see yourself a little better on this?
No, I think we're moving.
All right.
The other way.
Tell me when you can see all three.
Gonna give it a second to update. Oh no, it didn't move.
Well, scoot down.
That one's coming off of your laptop. That maybe.
Well, this is coming here.
It's coming out of the laptop.
This is the laptop. Holy crap! Usually it's not that wide angled. Wide angled. And I forgot to plug in the mic for that one, but you guys should hear us hopefully. All right. I should have done the other setup, but I was so busy today.
So that one's, hey, look at that one up there.
Oh, wait a second.
Wow.
This one's coming off of this camera.
Right. Any moment now.
Well, we're kind of screwed because I somehow can't really go. I think I can. Well, let me see. If I hit stop camera.
What's the other software that you were using on this? Oh, no.
No, I want to do this. Technical. What the hell is this thing? So if I go here to USB Live. Here we go.
There's something.
All right. Four people are watching and
somebody screw around.
Yeah, we're trying to figure this out again.
This is exciting stuff.
Well, because we're on Instagram here.
Yes.
But I was trying to do Instagram and Facebook and YouTube all on one.
Hey. Hello from the other room.
So let me bring this up a little bit. So.
All right. Yes. What you want is closer to our faces. That's scary.
Yes. So today is Coffee and Bullshit number 45. Just like a really good president. Yep. Just like a really good president that we know. Not number 4. Who's him? Number 46 is the idiot. Okay, but
yeah.
What we'll do is introduce yourselves to the world.
I'm Greg Zilion with A Call to Shoulders. And this is Donald Bozzi.
Hello.
And thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, so tell us what you do.
Wow, it's a hell of a lead-in.
It is.
You've done 45, I could tell.
Done 45 of these, so we've got a little experience.
Yeah, we are here because about 6 years ago, I started a program I'm a civilian. I don't know if you can see the difference between the veteran hats and the lack of one. But it was something to do to help the veteran population, guys who were having a hard time finding work or finding stuff to do. So basically, I have a shop in downtown Aurora, and I teach guys who are interested to do some woodworking or using a lathe for free, in the hopes of giving them something that they can do to occupy their time, possibly make a little bit of money, etc. And it's an attempt to do something that's going to remove all the barriers to success possible. And I'm basically attempting to build this plan out so that other people around the country, if they are interested, can do something similar, can follow the example, follow the model. But it's basically partnering with local businesses to help do the sales of the items that we make, and then using the educational work product to help fund the purchase of everything that the veteran needs to do everything at home. And nobody has to tell them what to do. They can do it whenever the hell they want. And Donald is one of the guys who has come through the program and was able to, well, he's a success story in the writing. Would that be an appropriate way of saying it? You've got all your own stuff at home. You started your own woodworking company, and now we're in the process of getting you up and running a little bit more.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons that we're here today.
I'm trying to. There we go.
Product marketing. I got
Product
it.
marketing. That's right. Double dog arms.
So that's the short of it.
The short of it.
But yeah, it's been an interesting process.
Well, I mean, you came up with the idea 6 years ago, and what kind of made it click?
I mean, there was a time in my life where I was struggling, and it was around Christmas. I had been a freelance marketer for, creative director and doing helping advertising agencies basically pitch themselves to their customers. I did a tremendously wide variety of different marketing efforts, and wound up doing a national tour for Kawasaki. I was in charge of a $3 million budget, and we traveled around the country teaching dealership staff how to sell a vehicle that wasn't competing very well in the market. And we did this fairly cool and innovative thing, and we won awards. And I thought, well, how hard is it going to be to find a job after this? And it was not easy.
No.
And so around Christmas that year, there was all this talk about the 22, and I had an awful lot of time on my hands. I was doing woodworking, and all I could think was, well, I'm sure there's guys out there that would love to do something like this, could use this. And what are all the things that are getting in their way to being successful at it? So I just went through and started to figure out a way to cross those things off the list. So we've kind of accidentally invented a product called a seam liberator. And it is a seam ripper, but it's made by vets. And there was a store in Woodridge, Illinois, and they sold them for $50 a piece. And I took my lathe up to a young girl's garage. She was a prison guard of the first prison in Iraq, Hi Jen. And I taught her how to make these things. She made 20 of them in 2 weeks. On the 4th of July, we sold them. We had, by the end of the 4th of July itself, we had 10,000 views that day. And she sold out in no time. So within a month, she had learned how to do something and made enough money to be able to buy everything she already knew how to use and knew exactly what to buy. So she wasn't wasting money on shit trying to figure out, oh, is this going to make it easier? She knew exactly what to get. She was able to start her own home business. And that is my goal, to do that kind of all over the country and suggest other people might be interested in it.
So you see what it is?
Yes, I should do a better job of that.
Yeah.
There is also a quilting move. I didn't know much about sewing in advance. I made this for my mom, who was diagnosed with RA, rheumatoid arthritis. And so for the quilting move, there's a downstroke where they cut everything at once. So as opposed to just a regular $5 piece of crap that you can get from the sewing store made in China, here's something that is a gorgeous piece of exotic hardwoods made by hand.
So you can put it on either end.
Yeah. And then at the bottom, there's a magnet to help pick up pins.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You can mount it to the machine.
Which I thought too, except most of them are made by plastic now.
Yeah.
I thought I had that same thought. It's like, it was a great idea, but yes.
I mean, unless you still have an old Singer or something like that to use. So what other products you make?
Those are the main products that we've started with. And, when I get a group of guys in who can you are interested in doing this, that is another, one of the products that we're going to make. But I have found that a lot of the guys just come in. I initially was targeting guys your age, Operation Iraqi Freedom and Enduring Freedom, thinking that you'd be coming home from combat. And one of the agencies I worked at, I kept on trying to get them to bring vets in. We were doing a lot of video work. I'm like, just let's get some guys in who are struggling. Even if they're just carrying cameras around, they're getting exposure to this stuff. They can learn a lot of these things. They can, this is easy.
Right.
And I actually had to get this one HR director drunk enough to admit that even if they had just seen an arena of combat, hadn't been diagnosed with PTSD or anything, companies are steering away from giving these guys a chance. And yeah, it sounds like a lawyer somewhere has made this a more difficult thing than it needs to be, but I just say that's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically this is something that it might not be the end all thing, but there are guys out there who are receiving benefits. They have enough money, but it's still a fixed income,
right,
at a relatively young age. And all I can think is that would suck to a certain extent. Like, how can this be, everything? How can this be the life that I'm going to lead for the next 50 years,
right,
the next 40 or 50 years? So I want to be able to encourage civilians out there to create opportunities for the guys and girls who fought for everything that we already have, and be able to, figure out a way to do that where everybody just does what they do. The stores sell something, and especially the civilian stores, they don't take any money from the vets. You just do what, you do what you do,
mm-hmm.
and you just make sure that there's always something there for the vets. And I want to say this very, very clearly. If you're complaining about the way the vets are being treated, find a vet to buy something from. Don't just complain about it. Don here brought in some stuff that he's making, and he's going to be selling here at Sal's business. These are the guys you should be buying from. This is what is the easiest thing to do to help a vet, is find them and buy shit from them. It's not a handout. It's these guys, Don wants to work.
Yeah. I was a truck driver for 26 years before I got diagnosed with conversion disorder of back in the fall of 2019. And that ended my career. So here I am at 40. I've been retired now on disability for 2 years. So I'll be 48 next month. And this gives me the perfect opportunity of either making, some extra cash, but it's something I enjoy. But most importantly for me, what I get out of it, it's therapy. If I'm stressed out, and I talked about this in some of my counseling courses and stuff, like anger management and whatnot. I told him, I says, I go downstairs. I got my own shop downstairs in my basement, and I'll just start turning wood, or I'm making boards, whatever, So I started off with a lathe through a call to shoulders. I made enough money. Greg didn't take a dime, not even a penny, off of anything that we sold as a veteran. The money's put to the side. You accumulate $300. You use that money, and it's not money coming out of my pocket. It's money that's put to the side off the items that we sold, which were the seam liberators. Then after that, I bought my lathe. Then when I was after I got divorced and then moved into this new house, I wound up setting shop about maybe 2 months after I moved in, and it was just a lathe. So I started making pens and bottle openers and whatnot. And then from there on out, around this past Christmas, I started making boards and plaques and whatnot. So I'm able to expand, and I get the freedom to do so, and I'm still trying to figure out what's a hot market. But I think everything that I do right now, and I didn't know I had this hidden talent, has been pretty good so far.
It is.
It's
like these are some of the coffee scoops that he's going to be selling here.
Yeah.
And he's even built his own display, and it's important to support guys like you, guys like Don, and yet show them that.
Yeah, there's on this flyer, I'll zoom in here in a second, but this particular board, there was a gentleman in Washington State that purchased this board, and he's a chef at a hotel and at a casino. And he says that this is probably the best board he's ever had, and is probably better than any board that a restaurant or, some kitchen would ever have because of the quality, and he helped me out. He was really gracious enough to do so. The program that Greg has that I'm a part of and other veterans are, it's not bullshit. This is a legitimate program that works. And I'm not here really to talk about me as I am to talk about the program. So if you have PTSD and you're kind of in denial, or you just don't want to expose it, and you don't have to expose it. But if you have PTSD, or if you know somebody that does, or if you feel like you have a lack of, like, a sense of commitment to something, I got a buddy of mine who's also in Washington State. He says, he's in the same boat as me, as many others, and he says, I don't have a purpose, really. And I'm hoping that this program will be able to expand to other states, other cities. So guys like him who feel like he needs a purpose could be part of something big, because it's not really about each individual. It's about the whole veteran community, and not just the veteran community. It's the community in general. That's important. The whole entire community within, civilian world has the opportunity of helping us out.
So you said your conversion disorder. What is that? So people would know, because I don't think. Okay, so, and I never heard about it either. Neither did my family. Greg was at the hospital the time I was I was in there 3 times. So conversion disorder was originally called hysteria. Now, hysteria can be explained medically, whereas conversion disorder, none of the vital signs and the EKGs and MRIs, everything medically cannot be explained as to why you're comatose, as to why you're partially temporary blind, temporary paralysis. Your mind is not even in the now. Your mind is elsewhere. So during the time it's what they call out-of-body psychosis. I'm back in Iraq fighting, but yet I'm in the hospital seeing everybody, could hear some things, but it can't really make it out because you're not really, you're in a coma is what it is, or a catatonic state. And, they have every opportunity of intubating you if you don't wake up by a certain period of time. But you don't feel no pain, nothing. You're just in this deep, deep, dead sleep, and it could happen. The major ones could happen frequently. There might be a couple of years before you have another episode, but then you also have pseudo seizures. Pseudo seizures are more psychological seizures than like an epileptic seizure. Because again, it's not medically explained. It's neurological and psychologically explained. Right. So the pseudo seizures could happen multiple times during the day. It could happen even at night. And, that's one of the reasons why I can't drive a truck anymore. God forbid I wind up having a pseudo seizure or getting so stressed out, because conversion disorder is just from overwhelmed stress, compounded stress. And you just, some guys snap. Well, I imploded. Instead of exploded, I imploded. So God forbid if I'm behind the wheel of a tractor trailer and that happens, it could be bad. So I met Greg during a movie viewing. Yeah. And he presented A Call to Shoulders to everybody at the showing. And, after I had after my second conversion disorder, is when I approached Greg and I says, I'm interested in no more. So he got me started on working on the lathe. Then we talked a little bit, and he explained what the program was, and I says, it sounds like something that I could believe in. Mm-hmm.
It's not a therapy program, but there are therapeutic effects.
Correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not a jobs program, but people can create jobs from it.
Right. You can be independent, make your own stuff, sell it to other places, and
Or he gets a really great idea and other guys that come through the program, he knows that they know what they're doing,
mm-hmm.
and so he's able to then employ them. It's not just woodworking that could be used for this. My girlfriend does leather work. We could teach people how to do leather work. The whole thing is to try and transfer a skill set to somebody who needs something to do,
right,
in a way that doesn't cost them anything, that they have to work, they have to put the effort for it. It's
right.
not a handout,
right?
But it's an opportunity that they didn't otherwise have.
Well, you do more than just for veterans of Iraq and Afghanistan. You're also, I know you have a couple of Vietnam veterans, right?
A lot of Vietnam vets.
Yeah. But is that something in the mindset, because Vietnam veterans have, they're out of the workforce by now, right? Most of them are.
Yeah.
Retired, have a little time. I know a lot of, of our, I guess, generational fighting in overseas. You have families, you have, bills you got to pay. You're working. You might not like what you're doing, but you're sucking, you're sucking it up and, embrace the suck and work, right? Just like with people who join the VFWs or don't join VFWs or Legions, right? Because there's still the old timers there, and it's the old timers club, or you just sit there and drink around. I mean, that's changed a little bit. We're starting to get more and more of us, trying to figure out better ways for therapy.
I think that the Vietnam vets had such a shitty time when they came home,
right?
That they were understandably reclusive and they withdrew that part of their existence from society because they just got tired of being treated like shit. And we all know that history.
Right.
Your generation, though, has been a challenge. I was hoping you guys could shed some light on like ways to make this more appealing. The Vietnam vets, they are looking out for each other, and I know that you guys are doing it too, but I'm curious as to what is the message to get to the younger guys to say, you can make a difference in your own life. We just have to find the right way to do it.
Well, for one is support, right? I mean, for people to come up. I mean, after every great, war, World War II, World War I, you had big parades, right? All the guys came home. Here, you have units shipping, coming back. Maybe get a little parade at your hometown or your thing, but not, the difference was, I would say, like Vietnam, it was, the 101st Airborne was, deployed in Vietnam for 7 years. So you had individuals coming back, right? And you had people, going into that unit, the NFG, the fucking new guys.
Yeah.
And, so, but here we have units or battalions or divisions that are rotating in and out. Right. So everybody comes back home at one time. So you're with your brothers, you're with your sisters. But for coming back and going back to work, I think a lot of us want to be independent, right? We've been in charge of millions of dollars worth of equipment, at a young age, and you come back to the civilian world and, they don't even trust you with a $2 item,
That and they're afraid of it.
Right.
Well, yes, they're afraid of, maybe going crazy. We'll speak our mind if we have to, right? Easy way to lose your job. Speaking your mind, right? Because if you're right, I mean, if you're talking to somebody,
no filter here.
I will agree with you on that.
Right. You're talking to another NCO and stuff like that. You can start blabbing off and unfiltering all you want, but you do that to a boss or a management that has not served, they'll be like, time you to get the fuck out of here. You're fired for insubordination, whatever the fuck they want to call it. And
give you an Article 15 for
it. Yeah, let them try to give you an Article 15 in civilian days. The Article 134 that gets you all. I think it is.
I don't remember. It's been a long
I know it's Article 15, but there's Article 134 is to get you all. It can get you on anything.
Give me on a Section 8.
But you know, I mean, I had to do a lot of counseling when I was in because I was as an NCO, you know, doing that kind of crap. But I mean, when you get out, and especially if you've been into a combat area for a while, I noticed a lot of my brothers and sisters out there will be independent, want to be independent, right? They don't want to listen to a boss saying, "Hey, go do this." You know, we're willing to work 12-hour days. You know, it's nothing to us, right? I mean, it kind of sucks trying to pick out your outfit for the day because you knew when you're in, you knew what to wear, right? One outfit, you know, wear your green, and you know, everybody's fucking green.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter what, you know, you had coveralls. You know, during hot days, you take off your pants, put your coveralls on, keep yourself cool while you're working in the motor bowl. You know, yeah.
And they even tell you what to wear sometimes.
Yeah, they tell you what to wear. When they tell you when to roll up your sleeves, take down your sleeves, unblouse. And then, but then, you know, you begin to the position of being a leader as an NCO or a corporal.
Yeah.
You know, you know, I'm not saying you have a power trip. There's some that do, but you know, you're listening to a person saying, "Hey, you know, I want you to move this over here." And you're like, "Why the fuck am I going to move that? It makes no sense to move that." Right? At least if you had an NCO, you say, "That makes no sense. Why don't we do it this way?" And they'll be like, "Hey, great idea." Sometimes, you know, your civilian management people be like, "Hey, great idea," but they're still like, you know, I'm speaking here. You do as I say, not as I do.
Right.
Some bullshit like that.
But and that's the way they're used to dealing with the civilians. I mean, I get that there is a difference between civilians and veterans. Obviously, that's fairly obvious. But I don't understand. I guess to an extent I do, because I was in the civilian, you know, the regular corporate world for so many years. It's difficult to convince people to take a chance, and it is something that has frustrated me. And I decided to do something about it. But I'm still having a difficulty explaining, like what you just said about wanting to be independent, wanting to be your own boss. Right. Why aren't we creating more opportunities for that?
Because some of them probably could see that the cost of, you know, not really being scared to try new things. You know, we're pretty much willing to try anything. You know,
we joined the military for crying out loud, right?
Yeah, I mean, especially if you've been in some overseas places, you know, you're eating stuff that you've never eaten before, and some MREs, which I do love. I love MREs.
I got to get me a case. I got to find a case somewhere. I just stay away from Captain Country Chicken or whatever.
I don't know. That's something.
General Chow's Chicken or something, whatever.
Did they have that in there?
I think it was Captain Country's Chicken is what it was. I think it was like number 13 in the bag, and it was like horrible.
I feel like somebody should open up an MRE restaurant.
That'd be a good idea.
If you are a veteran,
there's your idea. Open up an
MRE veteran.
Give them that little bottle of Tabasco so they can put it on the food and make it taste better.
You want something? What do you want to drink? I want a shake. Okay, you got a shake bag. I want a soft drink. Well, you got to go to the fridge for that. How about coffee? Put some of this in the MREs, and you're gonna make instant coffee.
So, well, you make Ranger pudding, right? Here's the stuff to make your own pudding.
Ranger pudding.
All right, that's taking the cocoa, the creamer, and the sugar, and a little bit of water, and mixing it in there until it's like creamy. You know, right?
Yeah.
So you can make, you know, you might put a little bit of water, right? So you make it look like pudding, and you eat that. Just to make it taste better.
I will live vicariously through you on this one. I think.
Yeah, there's a lot. You know, after a while with MREs, you become an MRE chef.
Yeah.
You know, you learn how to trade. You know, and like chili mac, you get the jalapeno cheese, put it in.
The jalapeno cheese is good.
Yeah.
Or the peanut butter, the jelly, the cracker challenge is always.
The cracker challenge is always yes. Everybody's done the cracker challenge.
What is the cracker challenge?
So the MREs, you get two big, basically like 4 crackers connected to one, right? So. They're just basically 4 saltine crackers, but they're big, right? And there's 2 in a pack. And the thing is, you got to eat both of them within 2 minutes, crumbs and all, and no water. So imagine saltine crackers. So now you got 8 saltine crackers in your mouth for 2 minutes, and try chewing that and swallowing it within 2 minutes and completing the task with no water.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody ever complete.
Your face will actually turn inside out.
All right.
And then do it in Kuwait.
Do not do this at home, kids.
It's real hot.
Any of you young kids out there.
Because you can't even lick the sweat off your lip for moisture. So,
but it isn't the regular saltine crackers you have here. The ones you buy.
right.
They have to be the MRE saltine.
Yeah,
military
because they're
grade.
extremely dry.
They're extremely dry. And
The-
but they are. I mean, they are good. I mean, you add some cheese to it, put it in your food, mix it up. Make a casserole.
And what about the gum?
So what I should
The
do?
chiclets.
The chiclets. Well, it's not even chiclet. They look like chiclets, right? They're laxative. They're a laxative gum.
So
Yeah, but
my new idea is to just stock at the shop all of these MREs. That's what I need to do to get guys coming in. Is that what you're saying?
Well, maybe you should get some MREs and draw them, man. Lunch break, guys.
Well, this is what we're going to do. First of all, I want to make sure that we emphasize this point.
Yes.
That you are helping Donald and other vets out here by selling stuff here.
Right.
Right. And so you are doing your part to help your brothers and sisters. Yes. Right. And one of the other things that we're going to be doing at the shop is we're going to be selling and making these pens. And I don't even know how to show these off here.
Just bring it close to the camera.
This is the Vietnam and regular red, white, and blue. But we're going to be selling those to raise money for the shop for materials and expenses. But if you're a veteran and would like to, you can come into the shop, give me a couple of hours, and you can make one for free. And that is Operation Iraqi Freedom and Enduring Freedom. And yes, we have Purple Heart versions as well. So I'm doing whatever I can to get guys to come in and try this, because whether or not you need it, somebody out there might.
Right.
So how can these people get a hold of you?
I am on Facebook at A Call to Shoulders, and currently that's the way. I'm working on the website, but I'm moving a little slowly on this technology stuff that you young kids are able to do, and I'm not.
Not me. We pay somebody to do that for us. We're not that smart.
Well,
computers back in my day were still the what was it? The IBM in 6th grade or 7th grade. We had the IBM 480s.
I don't know.
And you had to,
I didn't
plot
even
all
pay
this
attention
stuff
to
in.
computers back
I
then.
had a Mac 2 SE, I want to say.
A big TV console.
My mom, God bless her, she
Big
got
phones.
a computer, and I used to be good at it, but not so much anymore. But the it's I cannot stress this enough. It is important. If you do nothing with A Call to Shoulders, if you never hear from us again, find vets in your area, buy stuff from them. Don't argue over the price. These guys were the ones who went and did shit for us that we were not able to do. And, you can go to Hobby Lobby and you can buy this stuff that's 30 cents, $5, whatever it is. It's all made in someplace other than here. Or you can spend a little bit more and you can buy something made here from somebody here who fought for here to exist.
Yeah.
And that is worth a little bit more money. It just is.
Now, what about those who live in other states that can't make it to A Call to Shoulders?
We're working on that. I'm trying to figure out a way. There's a hotel nearby. I'm trying to figure out a way to cover costs and try and, a couple of local restaurants have said that they'd feed the guys for a week. And if we could get somebody coming in for a couple of weeks, learn how to make the stuff, sell a bunch of stuff, and be able to then have the money, go back home, buy the stuff that they need to set up their own shop. I'm trying to figure out a way of going mobile.
Right, maybe YouTube videos and stuff like that. Instructional videos,
and we're open to suggestions.
Right,
but there's also other people in other parts of the country that have a lathe sitting there. Open up your shop, have them sign a waiver, but let them sit at the tool and learn.
Encourage those that have a shop to help.
Exactly,
right.
And I mean the whole thing about A Call to Shoulders is you answer the call to arms. It's a civilian's opportunity to answer A Call to Shoulders, because that's where you carry a heavy load. It's where you put somebody when they need to see, and where you put somebody's head when they need consoling. It's one of the strongest parts of the body, and we need to do more. So our tagline is "What's on your shoulder?" These guys have stuff on their shoulder, and it's important for us to carry a little bit of their burden. It's not a lot. If everybody carries just a little bit, we're able to carry a shit ton more.
So here's another thing. Maybe they don't know out there what they're doing, or maybe they're getting interested. So when they go to your shop, do the lathe, and then they want to buy their own lathe at the home. Right. What is the cost of a lathe to have in your home? I mean,
it costs me.
How big is it?
Right. So you could get a small. You'll if you save up $300 on the items that you sell, you'll get yourself a mini lathe.
That was prior to all of the metal pricing going up.
Sure.
So it might be a little.
It might be different now, right? But in my experience, it was $300, and then put some more money off to the side and get some more like the tools, the carving tools and whatnot. And that's all it takes, And if you want to, get the materials, the cost for the kits and then the wood. If you want to get exotic, like most of the stuff I make is with foreign exotic woods, because they just look nice.
It's a thing of value to hold and to use. Like I said, seam rippers are cheap, but there's value in being able to say, put this in front of your sewing machine and know that you did something to help somebody get a little bit further down their path. That is a wonderful story. And it has meaning. It has value.
Well, I mean, you got a bottle opener.
One of the vets made that, and he doesn't sell his stuff. He just makes the stuff and gives it to people.
Like Rick with the pens.
Exactly.
Make pens.
And one of our Vietnam vets sits in his garage, and he brought 40 pens to me, and it's like, this is what he did with his COVID vacation. And I mean, I know there's other guys out there that would love to be able to have said that they did that. And now was the time, as things are opening back up, find something to do. And I encourage people to provide opportunities for the vets who are looking for things.
I mean, because, we got Larry who does flags. He'll do flags, right? We got Patriot Frog, Bobby, who does, him and his wife do plaques and a bunch of other great stuff. There's Dash 10 in Batavia. He does woodwork too, him and his wife. So, I mean, there's a lot of opportunity because, I mean, Dash 10 has their own business they started up. They got their own place where they sell. Bobby, he does everything from his garage, makes everything there, sells it. Hopefully he starts doing more shows with us or around because just get him known, right? Because the only way you're going to be seen when you're doing this stuff is to do shows. Flea markets, whatever it is. I mean, especially if you have something you can make, something you can put out there, say, this person wants to order it. All right, hey, I'll make this in, a week or two, ship it to you, whatever it is, you prepay everything and then ship it.
Right.
Or they come back the next month and pick it up because depending where you live, because they're going to be back at that flea market or show, whatever, or what they call these things, farmers markets, right? Because I mean, it's exposure, right?
But
and social media too.
What I want people to then think about is that when they buy stuff like Gun Barrel Coffee, they are supporting this guy who is carrying Donald's stuff to these flea markets. It's not just a bag of coffee. It is giving Sal the opportunity to do something meaningful for his brothers and sisters as well. And this is what is lacking in a lot of these situations, a lot of these communities, is the coming together of different entities to try and pick up the little pieces. It's not, if you can make the stuff and you can sell it, then that means that you can make more stuff and then you can sell more stuff. And there's every one of the guys that you were helping, that's what this stuff supports.
If anybody wants to know about where Brian's at, he's took the weekend off so he can be at his lake cottage fixing the place.
Nice.
Yeah, he's enjoying himself this weekend. I was planning on going to my folks, but kind of a short weekend, and we'll just stuck around here, left the place open, been busy all day,
which is great.
So it's been great. But Brian will be actually, I think we'll probably be doing another mobile show just next week because we got another show up in Crystal Lake at the what's that called? The Rib Fest in Crystal Lake.
Oh yeah.
So that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday for those. Crystal Lake, Illinois, not Crystal Lake, Hawaii, or Crystal Lake, Illinois. I don't think there is probably a Crystal Lake in Hawaii. That'd be very interesting to find out.
There might be.
But so, I mean, who'd you serve with, Don, and everything? I mean, who are you with?
I was with 594th Transportation with the 101st Airborne. I served from 2003 to 2007 active. Did my 2 tours in Iraq between 2004 to 2007. Then after that, I had 10 months as inactive reservist. Then I got orders to be active, went to Fort Sheridan, just north of Chicago by Great Lakes, and was a junior instructor. I had to go to Fort Dix, New Jersey for that. And it was funny because I worked in the S2 shop. Here I am in E4, and you have to be an E5 to be a junior instructor. But I guess with age and experience with driving trucks and all that stuff. And
We'll mention good looks, right?
well, yeah,
Obviously.
from the backside. They made an exception for me. And I guess they were kind of hoping that I would go to the board. I was up for the board 3 times, and I knew I was getting out, so I turned it down. To me, it didn't matter. But I was honored to do so, and became a junior instructor for the last year and a half of my contract.
So you're an 88 Mike.
I was an 88 Mike. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. 88 Mike. Been there, done that. Seen probably every camp in Iraq and Kuwait.
Which camp were you at?
First, I was at Camp Taji, that's north of Baghdad, just south of Balad, Camp Anaconda, right off MSR Tampa.
What was the one that I ran into some 101st guys, but they were, yeah, please. It was at a university. It was south of Baghdad, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
I'm trying to think if that was that Ramadi or Sadr.
No,
I'm not.
No, it was a small village, and it was surrounded with some good walls, but it was a university, and I cannot remember the life of me. What was the name of it?
Well, I know the Green Zone has a university, or that's right across from the hospital.
No, we weren't that. No.
So, yeah, but we never deployed with the 101st. We always like with the 101st would deploy, we'd stay behind, the transportation units, and then they'd come back, and then we get deployed. So we were always supporting everybody else. Right. And the 101st did that, or the Army did that, so the 101st could keep their presence there all year round. So, yeah, I'm really not sure exactly where they, I guess they went back and forth all over the place every time. So, but yeah, I was at Ramadi. I've been to Ramadi, been to Sadr, been to Baghdad, been to Balad, been to Camp Victory, you name it. All the way up to Mosul to El Assad, the Marine post over there by Syria. Camp Dogwood, if anybody knows Camp Dogwood, what a shithole that was. So I've been there, done that, been through it all. And then my second deployment, we were stationed over at Camp Arabjan, Kuwait. Yeah, Kuwait. That's just a garrison like but you would do everything there, then drive up to the border, hit that last gas station, fill up. There was a gas station right across. Exactly. Buy your little supplies of pop and chips, and then go. Yeah, that's what we always did. Yep. So. Exactly, right there at Safwan. Yeah. Right around Safwan. Yeah. That was the name of the place. I couldn't remember. It's been a long time. I don't never paid attention. And then all the kids come out asking for food or. Yeah, and then they had. Camp Navistar, which is right at the border. Border, yeah. Yeah, and then from there, the next one was Cedar 2. I remember going to Nasiriyah. But... Yeah, you got Nasiriyah, then you got Cedar 2, which is right in the province. Then from there you go to Scania. Then from Scania you go up to Baghdad, and then from there it just branches off to whatever whatever direction you go up towards Mosul. You go to hang what we call Lucy or Ricky. So you hang a Lucy and you go up to like Fallujah and stuff. So go to TQ and the Marine post over there. So if they want to get a hold of you, it's just
currently reaching out on Facebook. You can reach me at greg@acalltoshoulders.com as well. Okay. Working on other communications. I apologize for the slowness. I'm just trying to focus on the guys that we've got in the shop as it is.
So if they want to call you, do you put your number out there? Or?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
I'll get a work number one of these days. But for right now, email's great, and I can track it easier. I can look through and make sure I've responded to everybody. I suck at the phone anyway. But yeah, it's at this point, this is a small thing. Mm-hmm. So there's limited amounts of reach that we currently have. Right. But as guys come in and people hear the idea, then we look to expand, as we can. But it's I'm trying to prove that it works first. Right. And luckily guys like Donald have taken a chance on it. I mean, there are civilians out there that have treated the vets like shit, and I understand not trusting civilians.
Well, how about the vet center in Aurora? I mean,
I was working with them. The head of the vet center in Aurora has gone to Gainesville, Florida. He and I had a really good relationship. I'm working on, COVID has made it a little bit hard to meet people stuff. So I'm going to get back to them, talk to all the VFW posts in the area that I could find, American Legions,
How about the government centers with the veteran resources officers there? Like DuPage, King County.
Vet. Well, I've talked to, yes, I have spoken to a number of them.
Okay.
And a lot of them have the cars, and everybody, it's a great idea, but getting them to actually come to the shop,
right?
Which I still want you to do.
Trying to get out of this shop because we roast all the time here.
I know you work your ass off.
We got we got that. We got another show after that one in Chicago, and who knows what else we got. Brian does all the booking for the shows, and I just do the operations, get that stuff ready, and then when we do it, we do it together or we split, 2 shows or 1. But we're always on the go on weekends, and the week is just roast, and people coming in, taking orders.
Take a few minutes to come down and see the shop.
I will one day. I'll stop in there.
The shop sells itself much more than I do.
Yeah.
You'll agree to that. It's a cool building.
It is a really nice location. The coolest building.
I got lucky as hell.
And his shop, when it's been a while since I went there till this past week or two. I've been there a couple times. Yeah. And I noticed there's some changes about it, but nothing bad. It looked like it expanded.
I'm trying to upgrade a little bit, trying to give some extra room for.
It was like
little by little, everything expands.
Kind of like my basement. It's like all of a sudden I got another tool here. I got a table saw. I got this. I got that. I got more dust everywhere than anything. But it is worth your time to go down there, at least to check it out. Make up your own mind whether you want to pursue it or not. I would encourage you to do so. If you are on the civilian side, or even if you're a veteran that has some sort of ability, a craft, or a job that can encourage and help out a veteran so they can get back on their feet, do so.
Please.
Take what Greg is doing as an example. And
yes,
I told him I believe in his program when we first talked, and I didn't know really anything about it. But
blow smoke up my ass. That's all right.
That's what we do. But after trying it, I says, this is something that I can do myself, and all it's going to take is a little bit of will, some patience. That's something that I've learned from doing this, as well as with my service dog, is having patience. All that patience after I got out went all out the window. I had no patience for anything.
Short fuse.
Yeah, short fuse like you wouldn't believe. Yeah.
That's one of the things you learn.
Getting yourself in trouble because of it and all that. This is very calming. Now, the thing is, if I'm turning wood or acrylics, or if I'm making boards or whatever, I'm focused like a laser beam on that. That is, to me, that's my mission. Is I got this done. I started it. I got to complete it. What else am I going to do? Right. If I feel stressed out, guess what? I don't have to go to see the counselor, or I could call somebody if I want. I just go downstairs, work on my shop. It's the freedom, and And the good thing about it is, no government regulations had to shut me down during COVID. Right? I don't have to wear a mask.
There's no workshop jail.
That's right, workshop jail. But
just Facebook jail.
Just Facebook jail. I
frequent flyer miles, right?
Time to make that Facebook campaign pin, but this is not anything that is a joke. This is a very serious idea that he has. And it's in the works, like he said. He's helped out quite a few veterans right now. I think I don't know how many veterans are a true success, like myself or your first pupil, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I call him my mentor.
Is
Well,
she still working? Is she still doing it?
She's pregnant right now,
Oh.
so she's. I don't know if she's jumping on a lathe these days or not, but she was great in that she used it to get through that period of time, and she was doing equine therapy, and then she wound up doing barrel racing, and so she's built her life out. But what she was happy about at the beginning was, we went to a VFW post that I had visited before, and I said I was coming back, and so she came with me. She's like, what I loved about this is that, last year I spent like 3 months at home. I couldn't leave the house. And if I had this, at least I would have been able to do something.
Right.
And so there's a hair salon up north that sells her stuff. And, she makes things when she needs to. And if she never makes them again, that's fine. She got through at least that time. If she ever needs that skill set again, no one can take it from her. Right. She's got everything she needs. And it's all within, her reach that she can affect change in her life when she needs it. Right. She's not going to somebody else and saying, I need help. She has everything she needs right there to make a difference. That is a strength that you guys deserve. And we have not been very good at helping you find that. And I applaud the hell out of you for the amount of work that you put into this business. The product is fantastic. You're helping, the people that you can at the same time. And you are on your way, man. What is better than that? There's hope. And you are doing it yourself. I am not doing shit for you right now, other than just saying, what do you need? And
well, you still give me the guidance, and if anything, he really plays devil advocate, and he'll calm you down. And, because I flare up, I'll text him, whatever, I'll call him up, and I sound like I'm all pissed off. And maybe I am, maybe I'm not, but sometimes it just comes off that way. He's the one to go ahead. And let's put it this way. He's an addition to my support team.
Well, thank you.
And that's what, to me, what I got out of it. This program is just another addition to that support team, because, we got counseling, we got family, we got friends, why not have an organization that will not only where Greg can talk to you and give you guidance, but he's going to give you a skill set and the knowledge to develop something and make it progress into something bigger than what you thought.
And there's a limited amount that I can do on my own, but it's important for you guys to find each other then too, and understand when somebody needs. You guys are great at it to begin with, but finding somebody that needs a little bit of help, you need something. All right, I hear it all the time. You go to the VFW, there's a pot of. There's a box there with a little bit of cash in there for the guys that need it. You are great at at recognizing that somebody needs help, and you are there for each other. Well, this is another way to augment this. You are, in this sense, you're the first guy through the door. You're the one standing in front of people saying, here's some, here's our core business, but here's some other stuff that might interest you. And this is going to help other guys. Right. And I'm trying to figure out a way of increasing that type of interconnected, effort, so that it's the rising ships or rising tide, lifts all ships. Boy, I'm screwing that saying up nicely. But there is a way to do it. We just have to figure it out.
So, Don, if they want to contact you or whatever, where do they go to? I mean,
sure. If you want to contact me, you can go to Facebook, or you could go to the phone number here, the 630-776-9197, or you could go ahead and Google the woodwork PTSD woodwork and crafts, or go to the website, which is www.ptsd-woodwork.com.
You got a site and I don't.
Yeah, I know.
This is okay.
At first I thought it said 15% off penises.
Well, that's a Freudian reading there.
Well, need glasses.
That depends on the gender.
Yes.
So reach out to Donald. His stuff is online. It's beautiful. He puts a lot of time and effort into it. And again, you're buying from somebody who you know, it's a great story, and it's something that you can actually treasure and value. And if you give it to somebody, it means something. Not, hey, I stopped by the Walmart and got you this piece of shit. No, this is something that is going to be unique, is going to be special, is going to be meaningful in the life of somebody who needs it and deserves it.
And it's not plastic to the point where you're just gonna, if it breaks and then you go out and buy another item. I mean, this stuff is quality. They're durable. We put a lot of time. There's value to it. Again, these are just the coffee scoops that we have here. But if you go to the website, I have a whole range of items, you know, from the coffee scoops to pens, all the way to cutting boards and cheese boards to even custom American flags. I know everybody other cousin likes to make flags. That's why I like to stick with just a variety of options.
You are doing something, and that is cool.
Yeah.
Yep. And well, we're getting ready to shut it down here in a minute. So hey,
only one viewer there. Hey, that's impressive.
Hey, well, you know what? It actually lies.
Does it?
Yeah, it shows that, but it's usually more than that.
Well,
but
that's cool. There's another one up there, and I can't see that far.
One viewer's going to go ahead and tell.
I hope he's a billionaire and he buys all your shit, man.
So check out Double Dog Arms. They make great 45s and 9 mils and 1911 styles and their ARs. We also got their type of coffee, Double Dog Espresso. Check these guys out. I mean, do lathe work, you know how to get a hold of
that and reach out to people. A call to shoulders.
What did I say? Call to arms?
Yeah, but that's all right. That's your thing.
Yeah.
And no, it is not soldiers misspelled. We work with all branches.
That's funny. I said that to my buddy, one of my buddies, and he says, "You mean soldiers?" I says, "No, shoulders." I explained to him what it was about.
They've been mispronouncing this for an hour and a half. What the hell?
It's above. Wait a second. I was going to say something really weird, but it was a call to shoulders, but head and shoulders. You know.
Yeah.
That type, not soldiers.
Yeah. It's the community. The community's like Greg said,
right.
is putting the weight on their shoulders to help carry some of the burden.
Yeah.
Right.
So I hear my dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. He sees you. So
he sees you. He wants to run over here.
Yes, he does.
All right. So hey, thanks for this episode of Coffee and Bullshit number 45.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you next week. Probably be a short one next week. We'll probably be mobile because we'll be at the Rib Fest in Crystal Lake. So come out there, taste some ribs, try some coffee. Don't forget to get a contact either one of these two. We'll put some more information up on the on this social media stuff.
On that internet thing.
Yes, this internet thing. All right, everybody have a great day. Happy 4th. Stay safe.
Happy 4th. Be safe.
Don't blow your fingers off.
No.
And we're gonna
hard to make shit with your fingers blown off.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Guncraft beer. He's drinking a Guncraft beer.
That's right.
I forgot about that. Don't want to leave them out. They make really good beer.
So thank you very much, Sal. Appreciate it.
Yes,
no
thank
problem.
you. Bye, everybody.